All right, man. I seen Boston has a new ownership group, and I think it's the buy officially went through, and they start cutting a whole bunch of finances off, or they start shaving a lot of contracts off. You know, instead of keeping it together to win, so they start. That's what they do. You got to understand. To most of these owners, it's about making money. They still approach it as making money. And when the business can make more money versus doing what you need to do to win the championship, I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about professional sports. You have to understand it's a business, more than anything. That's just what it is. That everybody, the players approach it as, y'all think the players just are so competitive and want to win. They just want to get money and they want the celebrity status. You think the owners really want to deliver a championship? No. Look at Jerry Jones. He just like making bank. No matter how much money they got, greed is what runs their heart. They don't care nothing about the fans as long as you spend money. They don't care nothing about winning the Super Bowl as long as they can sell hope. That's what it's about. Long as they can sell hope, that's what it's about, and that's what you have to understand. So Pistons delivered Cade Cunningham a superstar and wild all-in proposal with the Celtics. Now I haven't seen it, so this is a blind read. So apparently, Ivy Hollins, Tobias Harris, a 2027 top to protected pick for Jaylen Brown. Now, really, I don't think anybody would be tripping in this scenario about losing Ivy and Tobias Harris. Harris is on the expiring contract. Ivy, and some people really ain't came around to Ron Hollins. You know what I'm saying? Like some people just I like a star. I think Ron Hollins is the one. You know what I'm saying? I really think Ron Hollins is one. Now, this is like, being patient or going for it. The Pistons are pretty much in a good spot. They are still early in the development. Most of their players are still 25 and under. The only real question you would have in this deal and becomes an issue is how do you feel the power forward position? You trade Tobias, you trade Ron, and people always get back, oh, Ron can't play the power forward. Why can't he? Why can't he play power forward? He gonna get bigger and stronger. But my thing is, why can't he? Y'all was talking about Asar Thompson playing the floor. He bigger than Asar Thompson. He about 6'8", 6'9". He gonna have to gain some weight. But it's possible the power forward ain't Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan no more. Ralph Sampson. Them ain't power forwards no more. Antonio Davis. You know what I'm saying? Even guys like, I mean, who else you had out there that was a bit Chris Webber, Rasheed Wallace, Zach Randall. That ain't your power force no more. Like, we go back in the day, man. If y'all remember, back in the day, funny we talking about the Celtics. Really, Antoine Walker is pretty much the prototypical damn near power forward for today. Ain't that crazy? He was more of an anomaly back in the day playing the power forward, Antoine Walker. Shout out to Chicago. He was pretty much the anomaly back in the day. Now he pretty much the prototypical, forward. But honestly, I mean, when you look at Jaylen Brown, some people think he overrated. Some people think, he might be a little bit older. But hey, you instantly get help. You instantly get defense. You instantly get character. You instantly get a guy also that fits in with the Pistons. The Pistons have a chip on their shoulder. They feel like they don't get the credit. Guess what? He got snubbed from the national. He got snubbed from the Olympic team when he should have made it because of politics. Because he had his own shoe deal and some of the other things that he has done. But one thing you come into question is this. This is what you started to question is the 33.24% 3-point shooting. The Pistons, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying, can't afford to lose any shooting with, Tobias Harris, and bring in a guy who can't shoot. That'd be my only issue right there. He's a capable shooter and he's high percentage from the field. He is that. He's high percentage from the field. But the shooting is the question. And then also you start to talk about some of the little knick-knack injuries that he's been dealing with. Because how old is he now? He's 28 years old. He'll probably be 29 next year. So really, do you want to expedite the process with him? He's been a finals MVP. Still fairly young, a veteran guy you bring in the locker room. He's probably going to come in, play the 2, play the 3, you know what I'm saying? Give you some stability there, but, he got a lot on the contracts already. Or do you stay the course and you develop your young talent? That's the question. Do you go for it now? Also, it talks about Lauri Markkanen really tearing it up. There's talks about Lauri Markkanen. They in some type of international tournament. And there's talks about Lauri Markkanen really tearing it up. Going ham in the kitchen over there. I think he dropped a 40 ball the other day. So, do you choose to go that route? Or do you just trust into the development of your players? You have Jaylen Brown, it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can score, get his own bucket, can defend his position. You're going to be a better defensively. But in this scenario, how do you make up for the power forward position? That's the only question. How do you make up for the power forward position? That's the only question. How do you pick up the slack for the power forward position? And how do you pick up? Ron is shooting better, but you losing him. Ivy was shooting better, so you lose Ivy and Tobias, who can shoot the ball pretty well. And you getting one non-shooter. So the power forward that you would have to finesse to bring in, he got to shoot the ball. That's imperative at that point. So, I don't know if they can, go to Boston and swing a Hauser. Did he come back, or I don't know. But for the most part, he's a good all-around player. You're going to get 20 points a game. You're going to get around 48% from the field. Career-wise, he is 36 from 3. He shot, 35 the year before last, 35, 33, 35, 39, 38. So he had some years where he shot the ball pretty well. But, if I'm being honest with you, I wouldn't do it. This is my opinion. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist for more videos like this. Peace.